going to talk about some of the ways to break your opponent down when they're in your guard. A lot of people are saying they're having trouble getting the guy back down into their guard and getting their hips in a good angle. We've talked about a lot how when we're in our guard, we don't want our hips to be more open than a 90-degree angle. We want 90 degrees or closer. The opponent, his goal is to get the angle of your hips at 90 degrees or further. We're trying to get him closer, he's trying to get further. That's the entire battle. So we're going to talk about some of the options that you have to get them there. Our opponent's in the guard, and you see my hips are about at a 90-degree angle with my body. My goal is to have them here. His goal is to have them here. Okay? Because now from here, I mean, if I try to throw an arm bar up, he's going to be able to block. There's just not many options that I have. Whereas if I'm here, I have a much better control system to get the arm locks, the triangle chokes, things like that. But what if he's trying actively to posture out? A lot of the problems that people are having is they're trying to rely too much on this closed guard and just snatching him back down. Well, he's got gravity on his side, and when he's got his arms fully extended, there's no way you're going to break through this. You have to change this parameter of his body. So the way we're going to do that is either inside hook, that's generally the direction I take, or claps his elbows down. Either one. But what I'm trying to do is all in one motion, I'm going to change this parameter and then pull with my legs and work my way up his body with both my legs and my arms. So as I've changed this, I'm pulling and getting my legs and my arms further up his body. The higher up I am, the harder it is to lift. If my legs are right here and I'm trying to hold him down, it's pretty tough. Whereas if I'm here trying to hold him down, it's much easier for me because I have a much better angle on his body, if that makes sense. So our goal is to get from here into a much higher guard. And to do that, we have to change these arms. So let's talk about some of the ways we're going to do that. First, the inside swim move. Okay? We've talked about this in stand-up. We've talked about this with takedowns, with dirty boxing. We've covered this a lot. But we're going to take one arm, using this arm, so the camera side, and we're going to swim around his arm. That breaks down his posture a lot already. Now, we'll take here, and we start working our guard up. If you watch when BJ Penn fights out of his guard is up almost around the guy's head. He's crazy flexible, and his legs are up here. Okay? It's much harder for the opponent to ever get his posture back, let alone if you're wanting to go into rubber guard or anything else, you're already right here. So the higher your guard is, the more options you have. You watch some of the guys now are stalling a lot by getting here. Okay? And now, I mean, what's he going to hit me with? So they'll stall from this position a lot until they can move the head over and start working. This is the old London control. We've kind of gotten away from that, but the same theory applies still. So from here, swim move on one or both arms, and as you get it overhooked, clamping down with your arms, moving your legs up. That makes it much more difficult. Okay? Another way to do it. My opponent's already fully extended. Don't think about trying to pull him straight to you. Think about trying to pull him over your head, because then he'll have two options, get swept or break down. So if I'm here, I'm not trying to just pull him down and hug him. I want to take him and pull him over my head, this direction. Now see how low he is? Much easier. Because if he doesn't break his body down, he's going to literally fly up and over. So here, instead of just trying to clamp the guy straight down toward us, take him up above your head, he'll fall to you. So when I'm here, pulling up, now I've got the underhook. Okay? Now from the underhooks, I like to set the butterfly and get going out of your sweeps. The first way that we're going to cover, if he's got one hand across the throat, one hand striking, again, we're always turning away from it, but the same theory. We're going to be swimming. So here, now, arms and legs go higher up on his body. Up, pulling him down. If he's just trying to posture out, like this, swimming and getting higher up on his body. Overhook, underhook, or head and arm, however you prefer, but higher up on his body means it's harder for him to posture. The other way is when he's got a good posture already, we're going to take him above our head. When we take him above our head, it's much harder for him. So here, now we're already in an underhook position. So in a semi about 60% speed, my partner is not going to let me break him down. I'm going to show you both ways. First way being the swim move. And the second way being taking him up above my head. Those are two effective ways to break your opponent's posture down. Definitely not the only two ways. There's dozens and dozens of ways and variables that I can't cover every possible scenario in any kind of video set. However, those are two logistical systems that you want to employ. You want to swim the arm and break his posture down by moving up on his body, and then also you want to take his body above you, because then he'll have to collapse down. The next thing we want to talk about with breaking the opponent down in guard is by not breaking the opponent down, but opening your guard. So he's changed the variables in the scenario. We're going to change ours as well. So our opponent's in our guard and he's postured up. And we're afraid he's about to start striking. Well, instead of us just sitting here fighting with this guy, trying to break him down, why not come up? Now, if he's going to go to try to pass the guard, set a hook, get an over-under with your legs. Start working in. Okay? Now, you're back into a scenario where you can start getting your sweeps. You can start attacking. One of my favorite ways with a guy who's postured up is to get into butterfly guard. I'll use the second method where we post him up, and then as he pulls us back, I'll go here and scoot my butt away. Now, I'm in a good scenario here. He's not going to be able to punch me effectively. I've got underhooks, and I'll pull butterfly guard. So now, as my opponent either punches or tries to get over hooks, now we're back into our butterfly guard sweeps. So we've got the guy in the guard, and he's going to posture out of it. As he postures out, watch my feet as he begins to sit up. Now I'm back in butterfly guard. So if my opponent in this scenario, you see he's posting on my legs, go ahead, get one hook. That's another way to attack your opponent's posture. You actually give him the angle, but you change your guard. Instead of trying to sit there in closed guard and fight muscle against muscle when he's obviously in the dominant position, it allows you to attack his base by never actually even really fighting with him over posture. You're just changing the angle of your body as he changes his.